on, guys and gals? Welcome back for this week's episode of the INNsider Gaming News Talk Show. I'm joined by our usual hosts, including Drew Ebag, which we actually don't get to see very much. House Hendo,
Hey, what's
Kid
up?
Tutu. What's going on, everybody?
What's
What-
up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
So, man, this week we've got a lot of big news in different areas, which is surprising. Like this week, I think we got a little bit more on the Twitch side, which is something we try to keep updated on, keep everybody updated on. We've got some Blizzard controversy. We've got Twitch combating followers, mass lurkers, aka rail streamers. We're gonna get a little bit on that today. We're also gonna get on the Riot 10-year news, and also Tutu's weekly deals and cool stuff, which is one of my favorite segments of the show.
And Hendo Damas strikes again with Fortnite predictions.
Oh, there we go. Hendo. Yeah, no, that's just Hendo how he leans on his camera. He's always on the edge of the camera.
Always.
Always. He's like, scoot over.
He's like, wait, I can get in the middle? What?
I should be around. I should be around.
There you go. So let's start our show with what we've been playing this week. Hendo, go for it.
I was still messing around with that browser game, Prosperous Universe, but I've gotten back in the Conan Exiles. I did a stream earlier this week with Tam Tam, doing some new dungeons, some fun stuff, some tough stuff, like 2-hit bosses. It's ridiculous.
Oh, nice.
And they're adding mounts to Conan Exiles, so we're all super excited for that.
Dude, I know.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that too.
They're constantly like adding content to that game, which is really, really cool. And I feel like unprecedented.
Yeah, Funcom has its issues, but the way they've been handling Conan Exiles, I really have to commend them. They've been really responsive to everything, and they've been adding stuff consecutively. Some of it gets a little crap because it's not as much as people want, but they always fix it in the end.
That's good.
Cool.
Tutu, what about you?
We kind of talked about it where I think we're both kind of in that state where it's just like there's too many games right now. It's hard to like pick and choose. Even next week we've got Modern Warfare and the Outer Worlds coming out. But The Witcher 3 came out on Switch this week, which Switcher. And
God damn it.
bright light. It's
name.
yeah, I played it, of course, before. It's a super expansive game. I think I put like 50 hours into it, and that barely scratches the surface in a game like The Witcher. So to have it on the portable system on the Switch on the go is like perfect for me because I can just grind away wherever, whenever.
Over? How's like the aspect ratio and everything? Like,
it's pretty much Witcher on like the lowest PC settings,
Okay.
and they add like a blurry filter to it. It's weird, but you could take it off, and when you take it off, it actually performs better. And it's 30 FPS. It's really like, of course, it doesn't look as great as consoles or even PC, but it looks really beautiful for the Switch. Like, I'm surprised, and it runs like really well. The only time you'll get like frame rate dips is if you go to like the big major cities. That's pretty much the only time, or if there's a lot going on the screen. But for the most part, it's like smooth as hell. And I'm really, really enjoying it. So lots of Witcher and Fortnite, man. Fortnite Chapter 2 got me back. I'm a really lapsed Fortnite player, and I know we've all played Fortnite at some point, but this update, man, it brings me back to like the beginnings, like when I first played Fortnite. It's really, really dope. I'm sure we'll talk more about that later, but yeah.
Ebag, what about you?
I have gotten back into DayZ. My life has been lost. It's been a long time since I've been able to do a 6-hour stream and not even realize it. So yeah, more DayZ. They're actually doing lots of stuff. New map coming out in I think it's next quarter. So that's even more excitement right there.
Oh, hell yeah.
But it is DayZ, so there's still a shit ton of bugs and everything. We're talking DayZ here.
Should we take this opportunity to mention our joint experiences playing Hell Let Loose after last week's show?
I think we should. Yeah, that was nice.
So after INNsider last week, a bunch of us jumped on and played Hell Let Loose because it was on a free weekend, and we're like, you know what? Why not? Let's go World War II and go shoot some stuff. Not to mention, we all got stuck on it for probably 6 hours, and then at the end, we're like, nah, fam.
But yeah, by the end, like the first few rounds and everything was super good. We were coordinating well between all the teams, and then it was just like downhill from there. You're like, I literally rage quit.
Yeah,
Yeah, you did.
I was like, fuck it, I'm done.
The only time you weren't mad is when I wasn't dead.
Yeah, basically.
well, I think it's just because that server just got like swapped out everybody basically, and it was not the same big groups.
Up like 3 times. I had to like wait, get my heavy ass machine gun. It was funny. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Super was just running, and I was just tracing him with my machine gun through the smoke in Normandy. It was pretty damn funny.
Yeah, it was a fun game. It was a super fun game to try out for the day, but it definitely has a little bit of work to go. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Battlefield 5.
Mhm.
Surprised, it's a little bit more arcadey, but it's still like if you do the hardcore mode, it's basically plays just like Hell Let Loose with just more options, like more tanks, more weapon loadouts, all that fun stuff. But
well, I have Tannenberg. If anybody wants to try that, that's World War One trench warfare.
Ew. No, get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. It's a garbage game.
I have it. I've never tried it yet.
I know. I had somebody gave it to me a while back, and I tried it for like an hour, and I was like, nope. Now I've been stuck on Destiny. I actually played a round of Fortnite actually in the new chapter just to try it out, and I don't know how it happened. I ended up getting like 13 kills and won that one. I was like,
it's the first round, right? The first when you like it shows a cinematic.
Well,
and then you just
I did that one, and I did a real match, and then I still got like a bunch.
Damn.
Like on the
it's
on the bot match, it was like stupid.
Yeah, it's weird. So like what they do is there's some way they kind of match you with like people on like your skill level. I don't know how, but then they're also like put in bots into actual games. Sometimes I don't know like how they do that or why they do that, but that could be the reason why too. It's interesting.
You're so bad is what he's saying is that they just put bots.
I know what game they get that from too. That was like an old thing Team Fortress 2 used to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
They would throw bots in if the round wasn't full. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the round wasn't full, but in this case, like there's definitely not a case of it not being full. That's the thing. And I think some of it you end up just getting matched with like mobile players that are just that bad.
Yeah, you get matched with like stupid players too.
So yeah, because there's some of them that were like super predictable, and I'm like, this has got to be. And I shot at them, they looked at me, and then kept trying to run the other way. I was like, all right, that's totally a person.
What I'm hearing is Tommy is just bad.
Real quick, I'm going to be the responsible one because I did derail this. Let's get back to the news because we are going on it.
No, we were going on what I was playing. It was part of that, but
okay, I just didn't want us to go over. It can be my fault again.
No, it's all good. So we got our first big segment today is actually going to be our Twitch updates. We have a ton of weird new features and cutting of features that Twitch is doing, which some of these are actually kind of interesting. 2 of them make a lot of sense. Another one makes no sense. Like, I don't understand this. So first off, Premieres is going away November 12th, which, okay, I admit that it's not a feature hardly any of us, I'm pretty sure, didn't use. Like, nobody was actually uploading a video and premiering it at a certain date and time.
Yeah. This isn't YouTube.
Yeah, but I mean, it made sense. It made sense in the fact if you wanted to go and do like a review game and you wanted to make sure you didn't go before the embargo, you would just make a video, upload it on the premiere day or the embargo day and stuff like that. Like, features like that make a lot of sense. The problem is I don't think it was well explained to people, so nobody wanted to really give it a try. So that's number 1. The second one, which I'm actually happy is going away, is the chat rooms. Like the little chat rooms that streamers can make for like their mods or subscribers or whatever individually. That's all going away. And that's actually not a feature
I don't think anybody ever used it.
Very, very, very few. It was like, I think I maybe saw the time that it came out. I think I've seen a handful of streamers ever use it. Even just random streams that I've browsed. I've never seen them use it. Because nobody wants to separate their audiences out. Like the big streamers, maybe they could have maybe used that and maybe done something, whatever, made it just so they could, their subscribers could talk or their mods can talk or whatever. That makes sense. But yeah, otherwise people are like, just use Discord. The other big one, which is kind of surprising, is viewers are not going to be able to comment on VODs post stream anymore, which is actually kind of interesting because that feature is used quite a lot, it seems like, because people will go back and watch the VODs, especially like, for example, here on INN. People go and watch the talk shows and then they'll go and comment on them afterwards. I mean, I get notifications all the time about people that comment on the INN VODs, so that one to me doesn't make as much sense.
Well, what is it useful for?
Basically, it's like injecting comments at the time of the VOD was happening, and it actually goes with the flow of chat and everything.
Yeah, I understand that, but in the scheme of things, it adds nothing.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it adds nothing. But
I can see why they're removing it.
Yeah.
There's no real. It's not adding a metric that we can track. It's not like it's showing that your VODs are being watched. Yes, but
Well,
you already have a VOD
it
counter,
did add a
right?
comment. It did add it tells you how many comments got on that
Okay.
that one VOD or whatever. So that was the only real thing it provided. But outside of that, not really. So this next one. So if you guys didn't see, Twitch is actually combating follow for follow, lurk for lurk, or view botting or mass follows in some way, shape, or form or another. If you haven't seen this, let me actually post this here in chat. It's the Twitch rules on how they're handling views, lurks. Basically, it's like we've recently made a change to help us better detect and remove artificial views from view counts, such as third-party sites. Lurkers, don't worry, we see you. We still include viewers who are watching but may not be chatting and have the stream or a browser tab muted, or maybe watching a handful of streams at once. Now, this is what we had actually talked about just like, I believe, a week or two ago, where Twitch had actually responded a support ticket to a support ticket and said, if you watch more than a handful of VODs or a handful of streams, it's going to be okay. But if you get more than, like, I think it's like a threshold of 5, then it stops counting you anywhere. So that kind of coincides with the official now. And then it says the 3 out of 3, a reminder. Fake engagement such as view botting, follow for follow, lurk for lurk groups is against our rules. Participating and organizing these activities may lead to the suspension of your Twitch account. And it goes to the actual article that gives you the whole thing. Now, where this is really funny is there's been a lot of heat on Royale streamers in the past few months. We heard a big spike probably 2 or 3 months ago, and that became a big thing just before TwitchCon. And then it's come up again in the past week because the crew from Go Bottle Spark, like Trouble Truck and Travis Schaefer, have actually been talking about like hammering in these, like Trouble Truck has actually been in their Discord, like trying to figure out what's been going on. Why is this such a big thing? So they would actually go and have you OAuth your Twitch account to give you a follow or like a view bot, essentially. Then you get like everybody would get a bunch of viewers and all that stuff, and everybody's like, there and doing their thing. And what happened was funny. So the owners of Royale streamers actually came on to I'm trying to remember the name of the guy's talk show. He came on the show and basically it says, "Oh man, we've been getting a lot of heat for this. Where there's just a lot of lurks, man. It's just a lot of lurks." And then one of the other guys goes like, "Yeah, we're removing that feature." Wait, lurks is a feature? Features for software. So how does that work? I kind of want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Like, what do you think of this whole thing? Here, I'll actually post in the VOD here in the chat so you guys can see it yourself. I wish I had enough time to set it up separately, but I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this.
You said that Twitch said that you could mute streams and it still counts as a lurk. I thought they removed that feature. Did they add it back?
I think they added it back.
It's not counting people in my chat.
Okay.
Not counting on my view count, so I don't know.
Okay, this is the crazy thing I find right here. All right. By this lurk definition, everybody who watches any other media and doesn't interact with it is lurking. I don't understand this. The chatting is a feature, not the ability to just sit there and passively watch the shit. It makes no sense. Viewership is not a feature. Being able to interact with the content creator is a fucking feature.
Wait, I'm confused. So what do you mean?
You're talking about lurking.
Yeah, so lurking is they're saying that lurking counts now. Again. Like they're removing they're backtracking part of the lurking feature.
Yeah. You said it's a feature. That's what my argument.
No.
It's a feature to me.
This is two separate things we're talking about. So Twitch doing its lurking thing, and then Royale streamers saying that they had a lot of lurk. They were giving people lurks, and then that feature was going away for them. That was them saying their view bot's going back. They're pulling their view bot.
Oh,
here's a wonderful weird gray area, right? Because they're literally using Twitch's API to just have an account, log in, and go to a stream. That's literally what we do with our browsers. So it's authenticated correctly. It's bypassing all the rules and authentication protocols, and it's just sitting in a browser. Yeah, the browser's on a server somewhere in a server farm. However, still not technically a view bot because it passed all the authentication stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why this
It's
limitation
that
here.
wonderful gray area. Yeah, it's why they've added that gray area.
The handful of streamers at a time. So basically saying if you have more than 5 tabs open with streams going, then you basically don't count after that. And that's what actually some of the view bots do. All they do is basically follow the rules and open up like 200 tabs with different accounts and watch that streamer. And they don't care about the noise because it's going on in a server isolated to itself.
Yep.
Yeah, in that case, I think it's cool. I think they shouldn't, allow more than like 5 lurks at a time. But like Hendo stated, I agree. It's like, why, like, this shouldn't even be considered a feature. Like, it's stupid as well.
I mean,
it's just the logical inconsistency of it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like,
well, I mean, let's bring it up this way. It 100% shows that the aspect of viewer count to partnership is not a correct metric to track.
Yeah.
No. I mean,
because if I have 150 people lurking in my chat that does not talk and they're like legitimate people, do you really have a community?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But semantics, right?
You have a sideshow probably
Yeah.
at that point.
So it was basically like 2 different points of topic. I kind of blurred the line a little bit on that one. So Twitch goes and basically says, like, we're going to have our
lurks count again.
Lurks count again only to a handful of browser tabs, which makes sense. Like, realistically, even if you're in more than 3, maybe you're not paying attention to any more than that.
I usually have 2 and that's it.
Yeah. And it's the same here. I watch a couple at a time and that's it. But then when you get to this Royale streamers where the big rumor about Royale streamers is they were viewbotting all of their streamers that were authenticated in their server. So that was the difference. And then the guy goes like, I mean, here we could probably even play it and have the sound come out.
Saying it's artificial is absolutely.
I don't think this is actually coming through.
It's not artificial.
Nope.
You can say other things.
No,
You
it's
can
not
say
coming through.
is it inflated numbers?
I mean,
The guy
he
basically talks about it, inflating features and whatnot.
That's a lot of lurks.
But he's like, it's a lot of lurks.
Which we lowered and
a lot of lurks which we lowered, and then we're removing that feature. So I was like, Royale streamers saying they're removing their lurk bot, essentially, is what they said. Because
Nothing will happen. It's just him admitting he did shit, and then nothing will happen.
Yeah, essentially.
It's Twitch.
What's weird is because they'll go and that's been my biggest problem. That's actually been a lot of our problems, I think, is where their inconsistency in moderation. So they'll go and moderate the hell out of somebody that barely did anything, but when somebody actually does something legitimately bad,
okay, it's okay
terrible.
for me to give vodka to my cat. Okay.
Apparently.
Yeet the kitty.
But then they went and
that money.
So I can't remember if we put this in the notes or I saw it recently. We talked about
the funny thing is though about those references is those were all the gifts in the reaction to those Twitch posts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Easily. I mean, even that was the same reaction.
What? We have more transparency though. The guy at TwitchCon said so.
Yeah.
He told us.
He said it.
But there's the other gal too that also got banned for 30 days for wearing a low cut top. That wasn't a low cut top.
Oh yeah, I saw as a new girl got banned for that, right?
Yeah, she's a newer partner. She got partnered like 3 months ago or something, and she pulls in like 150, 200 viewers, and then she got banned for 30 days for wearing like a low cut dress or something like that, and it wasn't actually low cut. And I'm like,
a turtleneck.
I'm like,
she's probably a threat to somebody.
No, it's like you consistently have like people, the other people that other female streamers that'll go and wear way less than that and never get nothing but a slap on the wrist.
Can we get a shout out for the days when we had whiteboards and chalkboards in the backgrounds of streams? Remember those days, Matt?
Right?
Bring that back.
Some people still do it. Some people still do it.
Yes.
But yeah, any other last thoughts on the Twitch stuff, guys? I mean, I'm kind of glad they're getting rid of the follow for follow mass lurk stuff. I mean, that is really kind of like a negative part of Twitch culture, which I'm kind of glad to see them removing to some degree. At the same time, though, I don't want stuff like Royale streamers going and giving view bots to people even unintentionally.
Yeah, I pretty much agree. Glad that they're getting rid of that stuff. I'm also glad that the kind of the useless stuff like I would say the chat rooms, things like that are going away too.
So let's yeah, these are all pros, but then we have the cons like INN, which we embed on a website, and people probably do just sit on the front page of INN and watch it instead of ever clicking through. So
Yeah,
now those views aren't counting.
Well, those views haven't counted for a long time anyway.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you get the aspect, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's the same concept. He's watching it. It's just not because they don't have a Twitch account. Like, but whatever.
Or they don't have chat open, or they're not interacting.
Yeah.
Basically, and that's the stuff that kind of sucks. I mean, if it was like, you know, like there were some shady practices in the past where we've seen other companies do it, where they'll go and embed their Twitch stream invisible
And everything.
and everything, and you'll never see it. You might randomly hear it once in a while, but you'd never see it. And then it would just, you know, they would get a bunch of views from that, and it would just be silly.
Yeah, that's shady.
Yeah. There was a couple former like Eve streamers that used to do that, and it was bad. So moving on, we're gonna go to our game updates. So one of the big things is coming up this week. Obviously, we know that Modern Warfare is coming out next week, end of next week, and they're getting a they're changing how they're doing their DLC, which is actually a good thing. They're actually going
back to classic COD.
Yeah, well, no, they're moving to battle passes instead of loot boxes.
Oh yeah, that part. I thought you were saying free map.
No, well, they're doing the free maps and stuff now. So instead, they're just doing seasonal battle passes. So I think the initial idea is to have at least 2 to 3 battle passes during the year that they're out, which makes sense. So you break it up in, you know, 2 extended or 3 extended quarters if they do it in 3, or even you could do it in 4 if they wanted to keep it for a full year.
Yeah,
that sounds like even less legal trouble too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this started because remember during the Modern Warfare beta, people found like data of the loot boxes. People were pissed off, and so they quickly changed it.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, literally, the more companies that do loot boxes or paid stuff, like, is pissing everybody off. I mean, look at the example we gave. I think it was last week.
Government's off, not just everybody.
Well, yeah, but I mean, look at the example from last week or the week before, where Ubisoft backtracked all their pay-to-win features, basically, with the free buying skill points and XP boosts, like permanent.
Oh, for Breakpoint, yeah.
For Breakpoint, and they backtracked that quick, which that was one of those things. Like, you guys should know better about this. Like, this is not a single-player game; it's a multiplayer game. Stop fucking with this.
The thing I don't understand is you literally have one of the successful single-player games, fucking Siege. Multiplayer game, Siege, right, in their repertoire. None of it's pay to win. Why do you suddenly introduce a pay to win game when obviously Siege is doing really fucking well?
Yeah. Well, that's what I understand. I mean, like, if it made sense on like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, for example.
Oh,
if you had an XP boost just to help you get through the story a little bit quicker, that's fine. It's a single player game. You're never gonna play with anybody.
Yeah. It's not competitive.
Weird about an XP boost in a single player game.
I mean, I still too, like, it came with the Ultimate Edition for me, so I didn't care. But
it's just like WoW farming back in the day when you paid someone else to do your shit.
Yeah, right. Like the XP walkers. But I'm actually really excited that they're finally removing like DLC packs or the season passes or the COD pass.
Ubisoft is the only one now that's like the biggest, like, they're doing the worst with that, and I hope they revert it soon too. But it seems like everyone else, like EA, is reverting it, and now we see Activision reverting it.
So what I'm hearing is
we just need Blizzard to do it.
You have to tell their boardroom to shut up.
Basically.
Yeah, they really need to stop with those silly features, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, but I really enjoy the battle pass systems that games are adopting now, because it's like, you know, it's optional. There's one track that's usually free. There's optional track that you can pay for, and everything you just earn by playing. Like, it's a really cool concept. I like that a lot more than the season passes and all this.
Yeah, and it makes more sense, right? It makes people want to actually play your game with the battle passes. I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, what was the other game that actually did introduce battle passes for the first time recently?
Fortnite.
Well, no, Fortnite's always had it.
Fortnite was the first one, yeah. But
another game we've already been playing. Destiny. Yeah, Destiny's got the season pass.
They did it. Well, when you get to a free-to-play concept, it makes sense.
And I'm not gonna lie, like Destiny having it actually made me want to play Destiny more, because I want to get the stuff in the battle pass, because it's actually worth it. Like, I just got to the rank 25 in the battle pass. It gives me a free exotic. Why the fuck not?
That's actually a pretty damn nice season pass bonus there.
Right? And you get one every 20 levels for the exotics. You get 3 of them in the course of all going to level 100. So I'm like, hey, it's worth it for me.
Yeah, Destiny used to be really bad with microtransactions and the loot box Ingram crap, but now they calmed down on that. Now it's free to play and they have the battle pass.
And it's just cosmetics now. You just pay for the cosmetics, or you could get the nostalgic Ingrams and you get like ships or speeders or whatever. So that's not bad. That's not a bad deal. Tutu, you want to take the Fortnite news?
Yes, so we could tag team this one.
Yeah,
so
you guys tag team that one.
This week,
the actual news portion of it.
So last week we talked about Fortnite's. They had the end kind of event going down. We kind of broke it as it was happening too, which is really cool. But now we have Fortnite Chapter 2 has come out, and it's Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 1 has been released, and it's been like just going bananas, people ranting and raving about it. And I've got to play it, and it brings me back to Fortnite Season 1, like the OG Fortnite Season 1, where it's just like there's a brand new map, there's a lot of new like features in the game too, and it's a lot more kind of like simplistic. This Fortnite has just been going crazy with all these additions, so as far as like weapons and events and stuff, but this is like kind of goes back to basics, and it's really cool. It's really awesome. So yeah, it's when it come out, I think it came out on Monday or Tuesday this week, and they have like there's like a huge river that goes around the map. The map is pretty much like a big ass island, and there's like boats you can drive now. You can actually like carry teammates or enemies and like throw them, or like carry your teammates to cover and like revive them.
That's my favorite feature, by the way.
Yeah,
like hands down. Like
that did look pretty cool. I don't
else.
even play Fortnite now.
And what's best, I actually did it in the first match that I was messing around with, just to try to test it. You actually grab somebody and throw them in a garbage can.
Yeah,
or throw them in a bathroom stall. It's great.
And they added like fishing as a feature, so you can fish and get like bonus like health or shields and stuff like that.
Cool.
Even weapons, you could fish out like weapons on occasion. And God, what is there's something really big that I'm forgetting. I'll get back to it though. I should have had an article up or something like this, but
okay,
this is all from the top of my head.
All those great features are a thing, but for about 18 hours before these features were announced, Fortnite was absolutely
2 days.
Okay, yeah, about 2 days. Yeah, it was about 2 days. But the last 18 hours leading up was just a Twitter storm of hilariousness. Now, I'm going to set this with a little preamble. I recently watched a podcast with Dr. Phil and his opinions and thoughts on the opioid crisis. This Twitter feed has confirmed it, all right? We have parents right now blaming Fortnite for panic-induced addiction. We have parents that I'm pretty sure need Xanax or parenting classes, probably a combination of the two. But let me find this one that's gold. All right, this parent shared a photo of Eric Andre trying to get into a gate saying, "My son right now. Save the parents," in all caps, Epic Games. We're the real ones suffering. Hashtag Fort. Another parent shared a gif of Macaulay Culkin going apeshit by himself in the house saying, "My son X10 right now because Fortnite Chapter 2 blackout. Thanks, Fortnite, for panic-induced addiction for every parent."
Oh my God.
This is great.
I mean, quite literally, you can't pay for this kind of content.
No,
You can't.
I mean,
You can't.
Twitter's easy.
They did,
I
but
love it.
There are even streamers and gamers that were sharing gifts because parents and aunts and shit were asking them how to fix Fortnite.
That's hilarious. I can't get over like the fact that like parents and stuff get into it that much, because like some of them I'm sure is like their equivalent of their babysitter. They're like, oh, let's just stick them on Fortnite for a little bit. We get some peace and quiet for a few hours. But
I got one final one because this one was truly written by a Karen. Anybody who reads Reddit knows what a Karen is. True and honest. All I can say is, at Fortnite, at Epic Games, is losing money from me at this point. Way to drive us parents crazy with your damn black hole shenanigans. I'm sick of hearing, "Mom, is it coming on soon?"
It's kind of funny that these parents complain
No
because you know
gift,
they're
no emotion.
spending money.
They probably wouldn't care otherwise, really. I don't think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But they're like,
I said,
what?
it's all 8 and 10-year-olds that are losing their shit.
yeah.
Oh yeah, the young kids. It's funny. I actually didn't even ask my nephew. My little nephew plays it a lot, and I haven't. I didn't ask him during that time. I'm like, did you actually play Fortnite during that time? He's probably like, the black hole was there. I couldn't play. Oh man. All right. Well, let's go into the industry updates. Do we want to talk about the Blizzard thing? Might as well talk about the Blizzard thing.
It's a dead horse.
Why not?
Basically.
I mean, Congress got involved. There's that.
Yeah, Congress got involved and actually asked Activision Blizzard to rethink their ban on the player that was affected, Blitzchung, which was kind of an interesting thing. Like, why do they care about this out of everything?
No. Interesting is an understatement. Two very, very publicly opposed politicians actually teamed up.
Both agreed on this shit. Right?
MR and AOC teamed up to
Right.
say, China, you messed up. Okay, that's ridiculous. That's not interesting. That's ridiculous.
It is kind of ridiculous, actually.
Those two would shiv each other in a hallway if they got a chance. Let's be honest, okay?
One's from New York. It probably would happen.
She is a bartender. I'm sure somebody got messed up messing with her one
probably
night.
shivved someone before.
Oh man, I see. Like and then they also went and banned.
Interesting.
The other one that was actually funny. I mean, it's kind of funny. It's also kind of fucked up because it's like, I mean, they're kind of sticking to their guns, which is cool, I guess. But
they have this hill to die on.
Yeah.
They've chosen it.
Basically, they gave a 6-month ban to a college team that held up a free Hong Kong boycott Blizzard sign live on one of their streams, and it wasn't even a Blizzard like gun stream. It was like their own stream, like their
own
team's
personal stream. Yep.
Yeah,
they were just playing Overwatch or something on it.
No, they were playing Hearthstone.
Oh, was it?
It was a Hearthstone university team.
That's it.
And they were like they held up a song, Free Hong Kong, boycott Blizz, and the stream got shut down 20 minutes afterwards, like in the middle of one of the matches, and then they were immediately banned for 6 months. And they announced it on their social media, which is like, come on guys, like out of all the things you could go and attack, like you want to go and like do this kind of stuff. I don't know. I don't understand them anymore.
I would.
What?
But I'm an asshole.
Well, whoever's doing the bans right now is like ban happy right now. That's for sure. Tutu, you want to take the Capcom news?
His girlfriend.
Before we move on, yeah, my girlfriend. But before we move on to my girlfriend, I do want to mention that Blizzard, they also were supposed to do an event at the Nintendo World Store in New York, for the Overwatch launch. And yeah, they straight up just canceled. And what's the funniest thing, if you go to like Nintendo's Twitter account, like Nintendo, they usually advertise like every game that comes out. They did not talk about, not a single tweet or nothing about Overwatch coming to Switch. It's crazy. That was the same thing that
trying to stay as far away from this shit as possible, man.
They do not want to get involved, which is really smart.
I thought they pulled the Overwatch. I mean, not Nintendo, but Blizzard pulled the Overwatch release.
It was Blizzard that it
pulled
still
the event. You can still download it.
They have an event. But what I was saying was that Nintendo didn't promote like the game coming out at all.
Oh wow.
At all.
Now that I didn't know. That's interesting.
And it's one of the biggest ports too.
Yeah, it is funny because if you look back, like they were really hyped about it during their last Nintendo Direct presentation, and like now, the release time is just really silent.
I mean, I get it though, with all the negative stuff around it. Like they're literally trying to stay away from negativity on anything, any platform right now. They don't care what it is.
Nintendo's smart about that shit.
Yeah, they're like, I probably don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Nintendo is super smart about a lot of things. All right, it was lawsuits, IP control, development. They just got it on lock.
Yeah. All right, now you can go on to the Capcom stuff.
Alrighty, so Capcom is looking to revive dormant IPs after the massive successes with Devil May Cry, Monster Hunter, and of course Resident Evil. During its latest financial report, Capcom hints that the string of successes is fueling a push to revive dormant but still valuable Capcom properties. And of course, this kind of made fans go nuts, go wild. Like, what could be revived? What's next? And there's so many great like IPs that Capcom has. Like I was mentioning, I would love to see like this article talks about Ghosts and Goblins. That'd be freaking dope. Like a
That would be
modern day
nice. Yeah.
Ghosts and Goblins. Yeah.
Shit, I didn't even think about that.
I personally would pass on that one, but that's just me. That's an IP that should stay dead. But if they get into like some of their older stuff, like there's a lot of other like Monster Hunter to me really wasn't never a dormant IP to begin with. It was a good IP that they locked down to Nintendo, which was a mistake, I think. Like personally, that was probably their biggest mistake. Like Monster Hunter's always been a great game, but they've always put them on mobile or the DSs and whatnot. They never put them on a console. And as soon as they put it on every other platform, they actually made money. And they're like, whoa, that's a thing. Yeah. Like, come on, guys. You guys could have made that money before, but you were stubborn about it.
Yeah. But I do like Monster Hunter because Monster Hunter is like everything I wanted out of Final Fantasy when I first started playing that when I was younger. Because I liked how it was, and the fan service is fun, the newer version.
So going off of this as well, which is really weird and crazy interesting news, but if you remember Akumi Nakamura, she was like a E3 darling. She worked for Bethesda, and I think Tango Games Bethesda.
She did all the scary models, right?
Yeah, she worked on The Evil Within, and then she did work on the new game Ghostwire Tokyo. That looked freaking awesome.
That looks amazing.
And it seemed like she was like really supporting that, but all of a sudden she quit. She left Tango Games. So, but now she's been circulating back in the news because speaking of Capcom, she's been working a lot with Capcom as of late, and specifically Platinum Games. And she's working with the developer Hideki Kamiya, and they're talking about making a sequel for Akami. And
that'd be a cool one. I would actually get behind that. I would heavily get behind that.
So it's like nothing is confirmed. They're just kind of like teasing it, like working together on a Akami sequel. But that'll be really, really awesome. So just wanted to point that out there. She's back. She's working with Capcom Platinum.
You want to be another one, like, who another company I really wish would go and reevaluate their IPs and release them again, especially after the success with Resident Evil series coming back like in full force. Like,
are you gonna say Silent Hill? Please say Silent Hill.
Yeah, Silent Hill.
Thank you.
Konami needs to come back with some, and Square Enix need to come back with Silent Hill.
They need to go back.
I want to see.
And Parasite Eve.
I want to see Silent Hill to go back to form, like the early first two. They go back to that premise because it did get crazy. That's what happened.
They could even do remasters of the first two and people would be happy. Like,
if they remastered the first, I'd be all over that. You have no idea.
What I want to see just as much as Konami is a modern day Castlevania. Like, I mean, they got some great IPs, man. Like a modern day Castlevania.
I'm honestly
Castlevania.
Not a 2D platformer. Not a 2D.
That's money lying on the table.
I'm honestly surprised they're not, especially with the success of the Netflix anime they did.
Right?
Exactly.
That Netflix anime was crazy. Like I actually had to pause it like through the first. I'm like, whoa, this went 0 to 1,000.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. The Netflix series was great. Like I would love a new Silent Hill series. I would love a new Parasite Eve series. I would also love another Dino Crisis series. Like Dinos in space. Like why not?
That's another one.
Let's take out that one.
That's Capcom, isn't it?
Minus that one.
Dino Crisis is Capcom.
Yeah, Dino Crisis, yes. Dino Crisis in space now. Okay.
At first, we were talking about Okami Bison, but now we're talking about Konami. But first we're talking about. I know that the names are similar, but yeah.
Yeah.
I do always confuse those two.
You really like Ikumi, Okami, Konami.
Yeah, I would easily do Dino Crisis too. Like if Capcom's really looking at stuff, like bring back Dino Crisis.
I'm surprised, there's been a lot of animes, especially like space opera animes. I'm surprised these companies haven't tried to get involved in those IPs.
Right? Yeah,
there's a lot of, like for instance, Star Blazer, Space Battleship Yamato. That's going through a huge revamp right now. If Capcom or Konami like grabbed that IP and made some like Star Fox like space fighter games based on that IP, you know how dope that be?
Oh yeah, easy. But yeah, I hope Capcom and even other companies go and like relook at some of these things and actually like release IPs that people really love. Hint, hint, PlayStation released Legend of Dragoon again, side of Final Fantasy. So let's go on. Actually, Tutu, you got another one coming up.
You know what? I'm here for this.
All right, so this is Tutu's weekly deals and cool stuff. So first up on the Epic Game Store, we've got 2 Halloween themed games for you. Alan Wake's American Nightmare and Observer are completely free. I've never played Observer, but Alan Wake's American Nightmare, man, I love Alan Wake. So
amazing.
good, and this is like a cool spin-off. It's really creepy and crazy. And everything else is pretty much on Steam. Crusader Kings 2 is free on Steam right now. There's also a Dynasty Warriors sale going on. Like the past couple Dynasty Warriors are on sale on Steam. There is a Paradox publisher sale on Steam. So games like City Skylines, BattleTech, stuff like that are on sale for pretty significant discounts. And there's a Warhammer franchise sale on Steam as well. And I also wanted to bring your attention to.
Hold on. Are we talking Warhammer Fantasy or 40K?
No, everything.
Everything.
Everything Warhammer.
Okay, guys, I'll be back. Bye. I gotta find my wallet.
Why are you slacking?
I know, right?
The man emperor is very disappointed in you.
So Steam's big fall and winter sales are coming soon, approaching. It's been leaked. So the Halloween sale, we'll remind you guys too when it happens, but the Halloween sale is going to be from October 28th through November 1st. Steam's big autumn sale is going to be November 26th through December 3rd. And then their winter sale, the biggest one, is going to be December 19th through January 2nd. So
I'm going to add in on this one is I didn't realize this until I just opened up Epic. Epic just started their Halloween sale today. I think it's today or yesterday.
Yeah, Epic has a Halloween sale too, if anybody wants to check this out. And also, Humble Monthly is changing a bit. They're increasing their price to $15 for all new subscribers. But with this $15 plan, you can actually like choose your games now. So instead of it being mystery based, you can choose your games. And there's going to be 2 options. There's a $15 plan with 9 games, and a $20 plan with 20 games. But for current subscribers, if you still want like the mystery games for $12, you can still get that. I think this will go into effect. There's no date when it'll go into effect.
After the November bundle releases.
Okay. After the November.
And then if you're on a yearly plan, you're actually legacied into the classic, which is like the best version of them all, basically, for still the $12 a month, basically.
That's pretty nice.
It's worth it.
Real quick, I did see somebody mention this in the chat. I personally am very aware of the Paradox shenanigans that happened with the art fiasco. I'm waiting until next week I'm waiting until next week to report on that, till more of it comes out, because it right now it's very, very fresh.
No, yeah, they were trying to release Stellaris on mobile, and they used a bunch of assets from Halo 4.
I know we had a few people asking in chat. I saw them earlier, and I was like, we know about it. It's just there's still a lot more to be.
Yeah, they haven't fleshed that story out. We haven't reported on that yet, just because there's so much more going on, and we're gonna wait to hear the update about it. They're supposed to really release an update this week sometime.
The good news is they updated, Stellaris, so the launcher won't crash every time you click it more than twice in a second.
Hey, that's good.
That was the good news.
That's an upgrade.
Your mods don't work anymore, though. That sucks.
Oh yeah. See, that's bad.
I got 500 mods. 10 of them work now.
Oh man, that's not good. All right, so let's get into our top story of today is the Riot 10-year news. Riot came out with a bang this year. They did their 10-year anniversary of League of Legends, and yeah. Go. What are you saying, True?
I was not expecting IP.
Yeah,
100%. Project A,
not just one. Like, I mean, 7.
The other ones aren't technically new IPs. They're all based off of League of Legends.
Yeah.
However, Project A is completely new. No, like, who knows what universe it's in? It looks decent from what they showed. That's probably early alpha look too.
Yeah. So one of them is the one I'm actually trying to get into right now too, is the Legends of Runeterra CCG. That I'm really excited about. It looks really
That
fun.
one's been, blowing up on Twitch.
Yep, that one's really fun to. I've been watching a lot of that. Yeah, Project A was the competitive shooter. That's kind of like a character base. It's kind of like a mix between Overwatch and probably like Paladins, maybe.
Yeah, or it kind of looked more so Siege and Overwatch.
Maybe, yeah. And then we had Project L, which was a fighting game. Project F, which they didn't really release any details about it. They just said it was coming. It was going to be a mystery, some kind of mystery type game.
It looked like a Diablo style game. It looked pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to like a Diablo style game set in that League universe. Sounds awesome to me.
Oh, heck yeah. And then the real big thing everybody was excited about too was League of Legends and Team Fort Tactics is also going to be going on mobile and consoles here soon.
That's actually not a bad idea to have League of Legends.
Yeah, that game format works.
Yeah, that would work well on mobile.
Yeah, they're switching it up a bit though. It's not like this. It's the same style, but I think it's a little.
It's not going to be
a little bit different. MOBA. Like, yeah, they're working on it like from the ground up. So it's not really like a port, but
that's even better.
Yeah,
that's how mobile games should be. I hate when they port it because I like eBag. I'm a huge Warhammer fan. There's many times Games Workshop will just port a mobile game to PC on us, and it will be so shit.
It's so bad.
Well, then you have this other one. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's all right. It's going to be like slower. Well, not slower, but shorter games. You know, for the mobile audience.
I like that.
It's going to be like 15 to 20 minute matches. You know, not the crazy.
Cool.
You know,
I'm
40 hour long.
Yeah,
it's better because they're actually scaling it down for mobile people. Like, you know, you're not going to be sitting down for long 10, 15 minutes if you're out and about on your phone. Like, it's a bus trip to the mall.
Yeah. The other one was actually the League of Legends based anime called Arcane. That's actually going to be pretty interesting.
That's been in rumor for a while.
Yeah, that one's been on and off rumor for a while. The funniest one, I think, out of all the announcement is the League of Legends esports manager. Like, it's a game.
Never had one? Oh, it's a game. Wait. Game. I didn't watch the whole thing. Okay.
They basically took you know
so it's FIFA Manager.
It's FIFA Manager. Yeah, it's FIFA Manager, but with esports.
That was probably
I've seen a couple of I've seen like indie games like that where you like build game studios and crap, and like have to deal with like people stealing your crap. But this is just funny.
We're redoing.
Usually when indie games do, it's a funny joke.
We're just gonna do esports manager from now on. We're simulators. This is it. New eBay.
Like, pretend to be real part of the game. You're the guy in the cubicle that doesn't get to go to any of the events.
Yeah.
So real, you think you should be collecting a paycheck.
I thought that was like probably hands down the funniest news out of the whole thing. And it's funny, even in the IGN article that we tried for it, League of Legends esports manager. Yes, it's a real thing.
So what they're actually not telling you is what you're doing in the game actually affects how the esports of League of Legends actually goes. They're just taking your decisions and moving forward with it.
It's like their way of crowdfunding it, basically. Crowdfunding ideas and suggestions for League of Legends.
We forgot one thing. There's a League of Legends Origins documentary series that's going to appear on Netflix. It's a film.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I missed that one.
That'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, it says it's going to focus on League of Legends as a game and track the growth of its community. Sounds cool.
I don't know. I always find it weird when they make documentary about games that are still live. Because it's obviously going to be like an hour and a half commercial. That's all it's going to be.
You had the documentary about indie games, and it was literally Minecraft Super Meat Boy. Like,
yeah,
that's why I like the ones that are like I forget what it was called, but it was like where they just went over like Atari and all like the first games.
Yeah,
but
they did like a couple years ago.
I mean, all those recent history, it seems like it's going to focus on League, like from the beginnings up until now, which sounds pretty cool to me.
Oh, they literally just ripped off Dota from Warcraft 3 and said, "Let's fucking do it."
Yeah, I am actually really excited for Riot for the first time in a while. Like, I know we ragged on them a bit for all their bad decisions earlier this year, but definitely to come out strong and do something like this and actually fix a lot of their faults with internal rifts and whatnot. Like this is actually a pretty positive step, especially releasing this many new IPs. Like, I mean, League of Legends makes quite a bit of money every year, especially with all the new characters and skins and everything else and tournaments. Like they definitely can do it, and it's great to see that they're actually expanding their IP portfolio with games and whatnot. So it's not just like Riot's not only going to be known for these things, especially if these games end up being really good, right? Like I could definitely see a lot of interesting stuff come from that.
I'm really excited how the fighting game.
Right?
Yeah, because fighting
There's
games.
a huge fighting game community. There's a huge esports around it, right? Like this is a known thing. If it a new IP to the esports like of
they've gotten no love.
Right. That'll be interesting.
I'm sure you
get like the occasional Tekken, Soul Calibur, or like Street Fighter, but you don't get anything new anymore in fighting games.
I agree.
Yeah, this is really exciting, and they hired like special developers for this. So and they showed off like a little bit of footage, like early concept footage. But I'm not a fighting game fan, but I love like watching fighting games like on esports and stuff. So I'm really looking forward.
Oh, that's what me and my buddies used to do. I remember just me going with my buddies. We just played Mortal Kombat. Like we all just just started chilling.
Yeah.
Bored. Remember that back back in high school? We just let's all go over there and play on Homeboy's PS2. Let's all get up on that.
We're all gonna end up getting our own fighting sticks. We're gonna have fun. What?
That's we saw that company too.
Squad streams. Can we squad stream a freaking fighting game? That'd be freaking
fun.
dope.
Yeah.
We did.
That'd be UFC.
We did do we met with a couple of fighting stick people. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, Victrix I think was the one company, and I can't remember the name of the second one.
But
those are all really cool. We got a couple extra oddball stories for today. We kind of moved them in optional topics just to see if we had enough time considering all of our topics today, but we had a ton of stuff. One notable thing is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is actually being delayed until late 2020 instead of it's getting out of that spring section, which is really good.
What was the reasoning for their delay?
So their reason for the delay on this one was actually kind of basing it off of the first game. Yeah, they don't want to release a game rushed. Like they put that date to try to do it, and they're like, well, we want to learn from our mistakes and we want to make sure we polish the game a little bit better. So we're not rushing to fix bugs like super bad in the beginning. So they're pushing it to make more time.
I follow the tabletop Vampires the Masquerade, and this newest version just got shit all over, like hardcore, like lifelong Vampire the Masquerade players were like, I'm not buying garbage.
Wow.
And I was wondering if it was because they were basing the story off of this newest edition. They had to completely scrap everything.
Well, that's part of the reason. There's a rebellion about that. There's a me and Ship, they're both tabletop game guys ourselves. There's a definite rebellion I've seen in my local hobby shops among the vampire players.
Yeah, I haven't seen it from I haven't been in the shop in a little bit, but yeah, I know people are real adamant about the Vampire Masquerade series, but I think this was actually just the game itself was based off of the actual sequel of the Bane game.
They were actually doing the sequel. Okay.
Yeah. So that might be unrelated. So if it's them trying to just make sure the game is clean and polished, and maybe
I'm here for it then.
Doing some stuff, cool, by all means. And in fact, I think it's actually better they get out of this spring fuckery we're about to come up with.
Oh yeah, we have like 10 games coming out, right?
In March.
Release brackets. I have said this numerous times. Fuck release brackets. Make the game good, then just fucking release it.
Thank you.
There's always that famous Shigeru Miyamoto quote where he says a delayed game is eventually good, but a bad game is bad.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? If you release a game in the middle of the summer and it's good, everybody will buy it for Christmas.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's your Christmas freaking time bracket right there. Stop releasing crap 5 weeks before Christmas. All right? We already spent our money at that point.
People still buy stuff in the summer, like no problem. Like I don't understand why they think that summer is a slump.
Yeah, summer's so dry, man. It needs some love.
Right?
Yeah, think about it. That's when everybody's doing their part-time jobs. People still do part-time jobs nowadays. Yeah. That's when all the kids are making their own money. That's where everybody got all the free time. Summer releases used to be the shit. Release it in the summer. I get out of school, new video game. Cool.
Yeah, wasn't that when COD always released and they had the midnight?
Yeah, they always did
parties?
Yeah, they always did around June. They always did around VE and VJ Day. At the end of spring, beginning of the summer, that's when they always release Call of Duties.
Damn. Yeah, I don't remember
Same
that.
with Medal of Honor.
It's been that long since they've done it. Like it's been like 7 or 8 years at least.
It's so weird, like to think of a COD releasing in summertime. Like, wow.
Well, I mean, also a physical release party when we all just download it now the night before.
I remember going to like the Halo launch parties. Man.
Oh hell yeah!
It was so dope.
Dude, I remember going to Electronics Boutique before GameStop bought them out to go buy games at midnight.
Yep.
Dude, like the Halo 2 launch party back in the day was lit, man.
Oh man, yes.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Halo 2 was like the hypest of the hype, man. That was an event.
Yeah.
If you were a gamer alive during the Halo 2 release, you witnessed history. There was just crazy stuff going on.
This is something nobody's ever gonna do this, but somebody needs to, like, a big name, like maybe when the next Halo releases. 48-hour exclusive only if you have a physical.
Right?
Like, let's see what the fuck happens.
Oh.
I would
All
do
of
that.
a sudden, GameStop is profitable again. Like, but like seriously, 48-hour exclusive.
Right.
Like, that's not even a hard exclusivity. Like, I can wait 48 hours.
Speaking
But
of which,
a physical copy of the disc, like, make it a special edition, but for the same price, right? And just see what fucking happens. Like, why not?
Gamers
Fuck
are
it.
too entitled now. That's going to cause an online.
Oh, dude, yeah.
and my game,
I'm gonna boycott Halo.
They would do it. They would still go buy a physical copy.
My local GameStop doesn't open till like almost noon now.
What?
And like a third of their sections and little islands they used to have stuff on are gone. Like it's like a back wide open area you can do activities and build a bunk bed in with your stepbrother. It's ridiculous.
Oh man. All right, so let's finish out these last two stories. Division 2 is still on a free weekend. It's actually going to be free till tomorrow. Apparently, though, this update, like, they've added a lot of cool features and another specialization, but people are upset about it because it did change some of the big fundamental things about why people love Division 2, including one of the things you could do is actually shoot through walls now, which is a new thing. Certain guns of a certain caliber can shoot through walls.
You mean being realistic and being able to shoot through cover? What?
Yeah, basically.
What, concrete can't stop high caliber bullets? You don't say.
Yeah, and it's funny because it is actual like high caliber stuff is the only thing that can shoot through walls.
It's gonna be the
Oh yeah, if the M16 shoots through a jersey barrier, I'm gonna be personally upset.
Right.
The other one was actually like
I was just gonna say it's been weird watching the Division's art because like compared to like the other looter shooters where they launch like in a shitty state and then get better, the Division actually launched like in a great state and it got bad over time. Yeah.
Well, this is the first one that's like people have actually gotten like upset about. Like, I mean, they're still releasing a lot of cool stuff now. Like the game started with 3 specializations, they've got 6 or 7 now. Like, I mean,
I'm glad I did not pick up this game.
It's good. It's still solid, I think.
Well, I got in a humble bundle, so I'm not complaining.
I think some people are being unrealistic about it. Like, it's just like, basically whining about certain things they like, which I get.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, you got to evolve the game over time. Like, not everybody loves change of every kind, right?
And here's the thing too, with a lot of people that play shooter games, I've noticed this being a vet specifically that plays shooter games. When shooter games get realistic, gamers get pissed.
Yeah, right. Unless you're
like
part of
when
that
there's
small
actual like
group.
Kentucky windage, when you actually got to pay attention. Like when Battlefield came out,
Yeah,
every gamer I know got pissed. Every veteran, including myself that played it, loved it. We're like, holy shit, I actually got to do Kentucky windage on my fucking long shot. This is great. So that's the thing, developers have been dealing with too, because you got, a small cliché demographic that, like myself, be vocal and complain about bullet physics not being up to par. And you know what? If I hit a grenade and you're behind a ball, if you're behind a wall and I hit that wall with a Mark 19 grenade launcher, you should not live.
Right?
Yeah.
Your clothing should not live. It should be disintegrated.
That's why I play squad.
Like hiding behind a apartment wall does not help you save you from a grenade. The shrapnel will still get you.
Yeah, no, I have to like squad. I haven't even got. I got it on the Humble Bundle. I haven't downloaded it yet. But going on our last big thing, which is actually kind of an interesting one. I covered this game this week actually here on INN. I played the new reboot of Grid, the racing game. Now, I'll be quite honest with this. I completely forgot that the game was even coming out. Mostly for the simple fact
I didn't know
they had no PR or marketing from the game, and this is coming from Codemasters, the company that makes Dirt. Like, Dirt is blasted everywhere when that game comes out. But I didn't see more than maybe not even 2, like I don't
remember seeing I don't remember seeing anything on Twitter, like at all. Like, and I follow them.
Are they self-published?
Yeah, they're self-published.
They're self-published. Yeah.
this is a thing I've noticed in the past year and a half. This is what companies are starting to do. They're starting to just like silently release stuff and just being like, boom, just drop it on the. I think it's an attempt by these companies to try to get organic growth out of their games again instead of trying to do these hype trains all the time.
Well, there doesn't need a hype train. It's just they should have actually like made a note, saying, hey, like we should have at least put something else, letting people know it was even coming out. Like, no joke, there was nobody in the category, and the game had only been out a day. And I was like, how do you not have like streamers and stuff doing this? Like, this is weird. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, like I said, some stupid. It's like a Hail Mary. They've been experimenting the past year and a half with like releasing games with little hype, no hype, a lot of hype.
Well,
that's why I just think
it makes sense. Like in the regard of like how they did Apex, for example, that was a perfect way to ninja release a game. But they also did it where they had all the biggest streamers playing it, which made sense because now you have all these people playing it. They want to get in and they want to dig into it, and that's fine. But like, to be honest, like racing games aren't a hype anymore. Like, who gets hyped about racing games aside of maybe Forza or Forza Horizon anymore? Like, those are the real, like the last two big real racing games that you get out there that people actually play. And even then, like they're still only played, in little groups. But
I feel like the only things that'll get people hyped is probably like a Burnout Paradise sequel or Midnight.
Oh yeah,
Midnight
yeah.
Club.
Oh, dude, hold on.
Midnight Club. Whoa, give me that front. Give me that. I need Gatling guns on the front of my Lamborghini right now.
Can we bring back Driver? You remember the Driver series?
Yeah. Well, no, they made a reboot, or not a reboot, but a sequel to Driver, and it bombed so bad.
Oh, did they? I don't even remember that being a thing.
I want to say this was like 5 or 6 years ago now, at least. And it bombed. It bombed super hard.
I'm trying to remember. There was a racing game I used to love that used to get chased by the cops all the time.
Hot Pursuit. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit.
Yep, that's what it was.
So that's
they need to bring that one.
That's the one that's coming back. That's the one that's coming back. I think it's actually in the next couple weeks from EA.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, I'm not even kidding,
man. What is going on?
But it's EA.
Yeah, but I mean, that's Need for Speed has always been EA.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Yeah.
Like, in fact, let me boot up Origin and find out right now because I know it's coming out. I know it's coming out like real soon.
That's coming out soon. We were talking about it too. Like, they're marketing like the Star Wars games coming out soon, and they're not talking about.
They're not talking about it. Yeah, they like. There's only 2 sites that have talked about it, only because it's been their like their previews or whatever, and that's the only like coverage we've really gotten. Like, EA has not put any banners, no social ads, no nothing.
Well,
yeah, and apparently it's like really cool.
Like I just said before, the indie developers, the big developers are learning their lessons. EA is learning their lesson from Battlefront. They hyped the shit out of that game. Made it look like it was going to be part of the sequel trilogy almost.
Okay, so Need for Speed Heat, which is actually going off of the Hot Pursuit line mixed with some of their other ones, is coming out November 7th.
Okay.
So that's 2 weeks away.
Yeah, I might pick that. Oh,
Star
Wars. I'm going to contemplate picking that up.
What Star Wars games are coming out?
It's Jedi Fallen Order. It's
yeah.
Respawn's making it.
Okay.
The Zero Dismemberment Jedi.
And it's apparently Souls Star Wars.
They got this. It's weird because like the humanoid characters or like the human characters, you can't dismember them. But
yeah, it's only the droids.
All the creatures, yeah, you could dismember them.
You could.
Well, actually, no. There was an article I read that said you can like dismember arms, and that's about it. Disney's like really strict on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's Disney.
Here's an idea, Disney. Add it as DLC. So
$50. Gore.
Like if Creative Assembly can do it with blood and gore in the Total War franchise, fuck it, Disney, you can do it.
Now the only
Creative Assembly and Sega can get away with it for like the past 7 titles, selling you blood and gore as a separate DLC. You can do it, Disney.
The only thing that I have I Star Wars, I'm always a fan of buying it, but I actually might just do the Origin access to play it because it's a single player game. But they don't have any DLC plans from what I see.
No, it's that's another thing too. Like, it's coming out as a full complete game, no DLC. It's like kind of like this hub world kind of thing, like Metroid or Castlevania, where you like go and pick up missions and go on your quests and stuff. It looks and sounds like awesome. It's really weird that there's no marketing or anything behind it.
They're probably trying to hope that the Star Wars brand is just going to carry it.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. They're probably just kind of like waiting a bit, and
Well, that's
waiting
not
for
always.
the holiday
Well,
and
that's
the
not
new
all.
Star Wars movie.
That's not always true because LucasArts has had their fair share ups and downs with those games over the years.
Well, yeah. It's
So,
not
yeah.
LucasArts on this one, but
This could be another Force Unleashed. I'm not saying it couldn't be. It could be. It could be another really fun, self-contained single-player game like Force Unleashed was, because that was fun as hell. And that's what I'm really hoping they're doing with this.
that's all I've heard about it so far. It's basically a Souls version of Force Unleashed with not as crazy Force powers, because like Force Unleashed was really about the Force powers. Or this one's more about telling the story, and it's Respawn doing it, which I have a lot of faith in Respawn. I really hope they don't break my trust with this one, because it's like Star Wars and Respawn are like two trusted brands for me right now. Like they're my two babies in terms of Star Wars. But we'll see. But anyway, I think that's actually about it for this week. I don't think we have any more big stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
I think that's
we
it.
read through those topics, man.
Yeah.
We did. Any anecdotal stuff anybody saw on their own they want to talk about? Maybe briefly discuss? Any ideas for next week's show? Something that we've noticed boiling up?
Next week actually may or may not happen, because I'm gonna be in Vegas for
Yes, you will be in Vegas.
Eve Vegas next week. So I'll be coming back on Sunday.
Vegas is next
By
week?
the way, I got send you somebody to do a donation for me with Grey Gal, because she's
okay.
doing the ID cards for donations,
Oh, okay.
and I gotta get up with you on that.
Oh, the other one I forgot to mention was the Devolver Steam versus Epic thing. That's another one, but we can skip that. And then the fact that Stadia is like Stadia.
Oh yeah, man. Every news update about that. I don't know.
I was hyped about it
I'm
at
not gonna
first.
say I told you so, because I was optimistic a little bit myself too about it,
the
but I
fact-
was just I alluded so.
The fact that they're trying to be their own console, but they're not connecting with anybody or doing cross saves with anybody is stupid.
Yep.
Like everybody's doing cross save and being friends with each other, and you're out here being the fucking asshole on the block again. Like, come on.
Yeah, I don't understand it when new consoles try to be like, yeah, we're going to be our own thing. And I'm like, that's impossible in this gaming environment.
Oh, absolutely.
You cannot just be your own thing and create your own IP empire. You cannot be a Nintendo. You cannot become a Nintendo today.
If anyone could, I honestly think it could be Google. But the problem is that this is like cloud gaming, and I think that's like what's going to hurt them ultimately. I hope they don't. I wish them the best, but I think just that coupled with the fact that all the recent news updates has kind of diminished the hype, like for everybody, not just like us, like for everybody. It's just.
I think the only thing they got going for them is the fact that it's cloud, but the fact that they're not interconnecting with anything is what's really killing it. Like everybody wants the gaming platform to be cloud, and not every company can do that. And I think Google, out of all of them, can actually do a good cloud gaming service if they connected with everybody else. So if you treated it like a GeForce Now, where you can play, all your games on whatever platform you've already bought your games for, nobody wants to go and buy another game on another platform. Like I have a hard time. I mean, I did it, but I have a hard time even buying another Rockstar game on another platform. But I knew that was going to happen if I didn't buy it for console, or if I bought it for console, I was going to get it on PC. So, but that's one. Those are games you know and trust. You're not going to go and do that for any random Joe Schmo game out there. Like it's just not going to happen.
Brand new IP, brand new console. Yeah, let me invest in this.
I hope not, Burrito Bison. They don't turn into PS when Fortnite was released. Like you go and lock your saves to just the console, which was the dumbest thing in the world. That happened. But anyway, I think that's about it for this week. If you guys haven't checked out all the fantastic streamers here on INN, definitely check them out below. We have actually a whole nice fancy little list of streamers you can see that are on the team. Thanks to House Hendo, Kid Tutu, and Tree Bag for coming and hanging out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys all next week. Have a good one. And until next time.
Peace.
The permit. I don't care if you buy a permit. Do you know how little I actually care if you have a permit?
fact that he received no support from that. And I think Bode has some.
Yes, I do.
leaks for us.
Oh, I got some leaks for you.
Like simple shit like that. No, simple shit like that. If he can't answer that,
I need to break in and say more original every week. That's a goal.
Do you really actually get paid for that? Because you deserve money for that last one. That was
I'm gonna
thing you said us.